Shalom uvracha. So now we're up to Magid, one of the most important parts of the Seder. That is a mitzvah d'oraita, a mitzvah from the Torah. Not just eating matzah in our time is a mitzvah d'oraita, but also the mitzvah of telling the story is a mitzvah d'oraita, Magid. How do we do that mitzvah? Well, there are parts, the way we do it is reading the Haggadah. There are parts of the Haggadah that are absolutely essential. And you probably didn't do the mitzvah if you didn't do them. First of all, you need to start with a question, Manish Tana. We're accustomed that the little kids ask that, but if there are no little kids, even one of the adults has to ask. And even if you're by yourself, someone must say Manish Tana. After that, for sure, you can't get away with not saying the part about Avadim Hayinu Lefaro B'Mitzrayim. That's an essential part of the story. It's very, very good also to say at least the 10 plagues. And then a person must say the section from Rabban Gamliel says, everyone who hasn't said these three things, Passover, Maror, and Pesach, on Seder night did not fill his obligation. And then read those 3 paragraphs of explaining exactly what Pesach, Matzah, and Maror is. Of course, there are other things we have to do on Seder night. We need to say Kiddush and we need to say Hallel, both the part before the meal and the part after the meal. We need to say Birkat HaMazon. We need to eat the matzahs and the maror and korech and all those things. But for the mitzvah of Magid, the minimalist mitzvah is Manish Tana, Avadim Hayinu, Aseret Makot, and Rabban Gamliel says, and the 3 paragraphs explaining Pesach, Matzah, Maror. But I want to talk about how can we fulfill that mitzvah? How do we do that? So in many households, one person says the Haggadah and everyone else listens. This is based on the idea, the Shulchan Aruch Harav and others, that just like on Kiddush on Friday night, when everyone is obligated to say Kiddush, the way we fulfill it is one person says it, the rest of us listen, and our listening is considered as speaking. Shomea ka'oneh. However, other rabbis say that no, every single person themselves must say the Haggadah, and everyone should read along in an undertone, following on with the leader of the Seder, because everyone has the mitzvah to tell the story. I personally understand, and I saw that Rav Osher Weiss also explains like this, that it's perfectly acceptable and probably even preferable to have one person reading out the Haggadah and everyone else listening. Why? Not because of the idea of us fulfilling the mitzvah by listening, but because this mitzvah is different than Kiddush. This mitzvah is a mitzvah of Higad Labimcha. You shall tell your children. How do we fulfill a mitzvah of telling over a story? The way we do the mitzvah of telling over a story is by having one person talk and having other people listen, by having a conversation. A conversation isn't people reading a text or saying a prayer together. It's exactly that, an act of speaking and listening, a conversation. So I believe that the best way to do the mitzvah is to have one person reading and other people listening. In my family, we actually go around and take turns. I'm not coming to change anyone's custom, and if in your house the custom is that everyone reads together, that's fine. But if your custom is that one person reads and everyone else listens, that's also fine, and in my opinion, even better. Who can read? What about if you're going around and it gets to a little child? Can a little child read for everyone? Well, it'd probably be better if those parts of the Haggadah that we mentioned, the Avadim Hayinu, the 10 plagues, the part of Rabban Gamliel and his explanations of Pesach, Matzah, and Maror, it would be better if an adult above Bar and Bar Mitzvah read those sections. If it does get that a child wants to read those, then the adults could read along quietly from their own Haggadah to fill the mitzvah also. And that way, we follow all the opinions, at least for the essential parts of the Haggadah that can't be missed. But of course, we're going to spend the evening in great length talking about Pesach, explaining every word of the Haggadah, and saying the whole thing with a great sense of love to fulfill that mitzvah that the whole Jewish people for so many generations have been doing, the mitzvah of telling the Exodus from Egypt. You should all merit to have a wonderful Chag Sameach.